to me, even if, Dad, you're saying that you support it, you don't. I know in my heart that you don't. Like, I know that you still wish that I worked this
Zoya,
corporate job.
why do you keep saying
Because
that?
I'm not trying to be mean. It just is true, right?
No,
Like
it is no longer. I'm like, why can't I speak what I mean and feel?
Hello, namaste. Welcome to the Zarna Garg family podcast. So excited to have all 5 Gargs in the house. And this episode is going to be light. It is going to be fun. There are going to be no disagreements. Think of it as the emotional confetti going on in your head. Woo! It is going to be optimistic and we're going to get right into it. Let me introduce my family. My husband of 26 years, Wall Street veteran, Shalabh Garg. My daughter who just finished college, Zoya Garg. My son who just started college, Brij Garg. And my middle schooler, Veer Garg. We're going to get right into it. What are we looking forward to doing for the second half of 2025? What are our new goals? What's the goals that we're aspiring to go for at Brij?
Well, first, let's be honest with ourselves. Who here has been accomplishing or starting or continuing their goals they set for the whole year?
Me.
Our New Year's resolution.
20,000 steps a day.
Let's start with Mom. What was your New Year's resolution, and what have you been doing to complete
Mom,
it?
you 20,000
20,000 steps.
20,000 steps a day.
Yes,
You've
I have.
2,000
no,
steps a day.
you don't know the whole story. 20,000 steps a day. I've been very close or almost achieving the goal every day the whole year.
Okay. And was that your only goal?
No, I was supposed to drink water also, but we won't get into that.
Okay, so what is now let's go. What can you do for the remaining half of the year to complete that goal? To get those steps in and to get the water in?
You have no solution in mind?
I don't know. I was trying. It didn't work. I don't know. Nothing was working.
You just said it was working.
I mean, I lied. I was trying. I hit 2,000 most days.
But to be fair to her, defense, she's been traveling so much too.
But the thing is that, Shalabh, these goals have to survive those challenges. Otherwise, what's the point? Otherwise, all we're going to do is keep finding excuses for why the goals didn't stick.
Also, so I'm going to be completely honest. I give you water a lot, Mom. And you don't really drink it.
Okay, I don't like one time I gave her a glass of water. She looked at it, she took a sip, and then she spit it out. She spit it out! I was like, are you allergic to water? You're literally a human being.
Mom, I think your realistic goal for 2025 should be something related to your sleep phone relation.
What? Sleep? What relation?
I agree.
Okay, for the fans that don't know, when my mom goes to sleep, her natural habitat is to wake up at 2 to 4 a.m. and go on her phone and doom scroll.
And by the way, what time does she sleep here?
She goes to sleep, I don't know, late?
No one knows.
No one knows.
1 a.m., 2 a.m., 2:30 she's up, 3 she might be
No,
asleep.
we really don't know. For all you guys want to know a funny story, actually? Me, my sister, and my brother just went to a restaurant. We got into the restaurant late, and it was closing. But for some reason, for us three, they let us get a table. Even though no one else was getting a table, just us three got a table. It was late at night. It was supposed to close. And all the waiters were, like, looking at us. Everyone was looking at us, and it was so weird. Then my mom comes in 5 minutes later, and it's like a parade. And all the waiters, everyone is, like, celebrating. They all knew her. And then we were like, how do you know her? We've never seen... This is the first time we've, like, ever been to this restaurant.
What kind of restaurant was this, Brij? Do I know
it was
the
a
restaurant?
very fancy restaurant on the Upper East Side
it's
in a hotel.
yeah.
Wow.
Should we name it? Are we allowed to name it?
You can name it.
Yeah, it's The Mark.
Yeah.
At the Mark.
Yeah.
So,
They're
no,
so
but also,
uppity-tighty.
but also, okay,
And somehow
yeah.
they all know Mom.
So they were so uppity tight, and to keep in mind, we were not dressed to the nines, right? Like, we were not dressed to the nines. We were really hungry. It was actually like one of the few places that was open. We wanted to sit and have a nice meal because the three of us hadn't gotten to hang out, and we were having a really amazing conversation about XYZ thing. We get in. People are like, no, you can not come in. And then magically someone whispered and said, let them in. And then when we said, oh, can you please save a seat for our
Zoya,
mom?
you got to tell me more.
No, Dad. But then when we saved a seat for Mom, they started laughing. They were like, we're saving a seat for our mom. And they were like, huh. We were like, what? They knew. And then when she walked in, she was talking to the waiter. And he was like, oh, I already know what you want. She was like, okay. And then we were like, you guys know each other already? And the waiter was like, yeah, she's my
this
friend.
can happen. They treat us so poorly. When I went with your mother once, this was 6 months ago, they treat us as much, much worse.
They probably
You
only
guys don't know the life that I live aside from you guys. I'm not going to get into the details
and
of my
who
life.
do you go with?
I'm not getting into all that with you guys. Don't need to know who I go with, where and what.
Because they said she comes very late at night all the time. And we were like...
To the Mark.
What?
She doesn't even like that place because she finds them extremely, they don't, like...
Well, clearly she
title.
does. She might be lying to you, Dad.
She's lying.
She doesn't want you to go
It's
or
a
something.
Secret.
Okay, whatever. Anyway, so what are we looking for in 2025?
No, what? So why don't we do Veer next? What was
Veer,
your
yeah,
goal
Veer.
and how close are you to your
What
New
was your
Year's
New Year's resolution?
My New Year's resolution is different than my 2025 goal. My New Year's resolution was sports related, I'm pretty sure. It was to lock in and do well in sports. But sports season's over. I did football, basketball, volleyball. Volleyball for the first time. It was so fun. Any guys out there, I recommend that you try it. My 2025 goal now is so in New York, getting into high school isn't based off where you live. It's based off a test called the SHSAT, the Specialized High School admissions test. You have to score a certain score on the test in order to get into high school. So my goal is to get into the high school that I went to, that my sister also went to, and so I'm studying hard for
Oh,
that.
really? You
and-
changed your mind on that?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you were going to be sticking to the other one.
Well, he may have been influenced.
By
let's
who?
just say.
By
Who
Didi and
do
Zoya.
you think? Who do you think? Like, you think I'm influencing
Yes,
him?
I thought you influenced him.
Why would I influence him? I just told him take the exam and get the best score you can. That's all I said to him.
I mean,
That's also
Veer, can you explain what they said to influence you in that way? Because you were so stuck on going to Stuyvesant.
And the way that it works, okay, the way that the ranking system works is that you have to rank the schools. You rank the schools, and essentially there's a list of 8. You pick your top 8, and then based on your score, they place you into one of those 8. It's very similar to the medical school entrance exam, which is the same similar process. And so he gets to decide what he wants to put first, second, and third. I wanted him to put the school I went to first because I'm biased, but Brij also has a lot of friends who went to that school and understands why it's a great school. Now, if Veer got into any of them, it would be really, really awesome and we would make any of it work. But I just think he should pick the one that I went to because I loved it so much.
Okay, so the school is one of his goals. What are other people's goals? What is everybody else's goal? Shalabh, do you have a goal for the
It's
second
Dad's
half?
turn. Yeah, Dad, what was your resolution?
At the beginning of the year, my resolution was work related, to make a certain amount of return and to get certain amount of asset. And towards the return, I would say I'm in line in terms of where I wanted to be. Health as well. I've also wanted to make sure that I didn't gain any weight. I've mostly wanted to maintain because I feel like I'm already in such perfect, touch wood, shape and health because of my intermittent fasting and my workout, that I just wanted to maintain and not do anything additional to it. On the maintenance part, I think I'm doing fine too. So I just want to keep up with what it is. I also wanted to travel a little bit, which I got the opportunity to go to Zoya's graduation in San Francisco and stay at this fantastic, amazing hotel.
But what's
So
your
what
goal?
are the goals going forward for the next half
Yeah,
of the
what was
year?
On the return, to keep it up the same rate, and on the assets, I have not raised assets I wanted to, so try to raise that asset.
Okay.
Okay.
Zoya, Brij, you
Didi.
guys have goals?
Mine were very specific, very work related.
Oh, by the way, one other one. I wanted to do a certain amount of episodes of Finance Dad, which I am online as well.
Okay.
Okay, I wanted to get Zarna's book on the New York Times bestseller list, which I did. We actually have an episode out on resolution, so it's so spectacular to be able to watch that episode now, knowing that I actually did achieve that by the middle half of the year. So that was a huge slodge, and I was super nervous about it, but it worked out. So sell 10,000 copies of the book, check. Graduate with my degree from Stanford, check. So those are actually goals that I didn't realize were going to be in the middle half of 2025. So I'm trying to create new goals now. My new goals are to, one, just get my health back on track a little bit. Not because my health was such a disaster or anything, but the body really does keep the score. So during that first 6-month period of the year, I wear makeup on our podcast, so people sometimes are like, Zoya, you have such amazing skin, blah, blah, blah. My skin was actually breaking out to an extent I had never seen before. Like it looked like there were freckles on my face. And I went to a dermatologist and they were like, this is not, cystic acne. This is some sort of hormonal acne. We can't really treat this. And it made me feel really self-conscious. And over the last month, it's been clearing up so much. And we have no explanation except for the fact that the massive stressor of school and the book have been taken off my plate now. And I feel like I don't know. I would love to know the people in the chat. I know parents have kids with acne all the time. It's such a stressful circumstance, and in general, just like the amount of stress that high level like stressors put on your body. Like I was just losing my mind. So honestly, the next month I just want to like rest, recuperate, just get myself back in order. And then my other goal is I want to start building the podcast app. We already have exciting things, as you can tell. We're using new equipment, so hopefully people really like that. And yeah, that's my goal.
Wait, did
Can
you
I say
mention the
something
book
about that,
campaign?
Bita? You know, you told me about this Irish woman, or I don't know what ethnicity she was, who came up to you at the end of the show and said that your dad is right and this is not going to go anywhere and you should go get a master's and get a job. I don't know why she said that. I don't believe that, even as I may have asked you at that time last year to get an internship, which you did at a corporate job. But in the journey that you're in now, I'm 100% supportive of it. And I don't care whether you, what the journey that now that you have chosen it, I would rather you succeed at it as opposed to now go back to something else. And I don't know why this woman came up to you and said what she said to
Okay,
you.
I'll explain. So we do pop-ups at the end of all of our shows. If you're coming to see us in London or in India or in San Francisco, you will see us selling books and sweatshirts and merch and the whole thing. Now, what happened was I was selling merch at a table, and this woman came up to me who was a very big fan of the podcast, and very nicely, she didn't actually mean to accost me in any way, so I don't want it to come across as that way, but she did come up to me saying that she really wanted to give me this feedback on my life. And she gave me feedback and said, I think that you should do the master's degree. I was in corporate America for many years. I, rose the ranks for decades, and I think you're making a mistake and that your dad is correct. And Brij ended up having a pub talk with me after the moment happened and explained that he disagrees with her and he sees that what we're building is really special. And, dad chimed in because it was his perspective that she took. How I feel about it is when you have a goal, especially an entrepreneurial one, if you don't believe in it, no one's going to believe in it for you. So I feel like irrespective, and this is something I'm working on and have been working over for the last 6 months, to me, even if dad, you're saying that you support it, you don't, I know in my heart that you don't. Like, I know that you still wish that I worked this
Zoya,
corporate job.
why do you keep saying
Because
that?
I'm not trying to be mean. It just is true, right?
No,
Like
it is no longer. I'm like, why can't I speak what I mean and feel?
you can speak what you mean and feel. You feel okay. Brij,
I
you're
love how
laughing.
I'm laughing because this was supposed to be a light episode.
It
That's
is a
the
light
only reason
episode,
why
and
I'm
I just want to
laughing.
defend myself that I may have said a certain. I may have wanted something out of your graduation in terms of your future when you were graduating. But once you went down a path, I would obviously want you to succeed on the path that you've chosen. Why would I then want you to then again give up on that path?
But she's saying you disagree with the path.
I don't disagree. Okay, I may have had a preference for the path that you should have taken, but in my opinion, as an adult, as a grown woman, you are well within your rights to choose the path you want. And as your dad, I want you to succeed on the path that you want.
I'm going to take a quick pause to tell you about our sponsors for today's episode. This company is doing amazing work in the education space. If you're a parent of kids, K through 12, and you're stressed out because you have this ambitious kid, you have this curious kid who wants to learn about astronomy, who wants to learn about robotics, who maybe wants to do carpentry, but you don't know how to get them started. I know, I've been where you are. We're busy parents, and that's why Curious Cardinals exists. This company pairs kids from K through 12 with mentors in their areas of interest and helps them get started, helps them create finished products. This company, Curious Cardinals, is doing such good work and relieving so much pressure from the parents because we all have curious kids, but we don't know how to get them started. Curious Cardinals pairs ambitious K through 12 students with inspiring mentors from top universities like Stanford, Yale, and Harvard. Together, they tackle real-world projects, publishing research, launching podcasts, building apps that fuel confidence, skills, and standout achievements. Perfect for high-achieving kids and busy parents who want the best opportunities without the stress. Learn more at curiouscardinals.com/Zarna. And because we're teaming up with them, get a special offer of $100 off a 2-month subscription if you sign up by September 1.
You owe nothing to me. with respect to what you want to do with your life and your
Okay, so
career.
right now, Shalabh, you're good with her doing what you're doing, right?
Yes,
Let's just close this
100%.
now. Okay.
Yeah.
And Brij, what are your goals for the
And I don't
upcoming
want
year?
anybody coming up to her and citing what I want
People
with
can
respect
say
to.
what, look, part of this is also people say whatever. Like, she's a woman from corporate America. She could
But
have,
why did she cite me
it's
as an evidence?
because it's a way to get into the conversation. That's
Also,
all. Like,
it's a good thing. It's a good thing that she cited you. I'm not saying that she shouldn't take your words out of turn. But what I'm saying is the reason why this podcast works is because all five of us bring different perspectives to the table. And that's
Okay.
very good.
All right.
yes. Brij,
Um,
what's the
I would
goals
say,
for the second half of the year?
well, let me start with the first part. I would say that my resolution, I had a couple of things that I wanted to do, but mainly focus on getting good grades. I'm pretty sure. I can't. We had a resolution episode, so someone could go back and watch that one and just see like what we all thought. I definitely like grades wise did not hit. Like I didn't like I'm not definitely not like a 4.0 student by any means, or like not really even 3.0 student. But the point is, I did though get a lot of other opportunities. Like I failed at that, and I well not literally failed, but close to it. And I did get a lot of other opportunities. I started becoming very influential within my entrepreneurship community at college. I started to learn more about what I'm interested in life and just getting more opportunities within media and other sort of marketing roles to break myself through a barrier to meet new people, new influential characters that can become not potential mentors, but let's say I need someone to talk to. This is a good position. So I had a lot of failures. I had a lot of successes. So now going forward, what I'm trying to do is instead of just, focusing on the failures, obviously you want to learn from them, but now I want to like really zone in. I want to prove to myself that I can get good grades and next semester really kill it with the grades. Like that's my ultimate goal. I just want to have one semester of my life where I just get good grades. That's literally it. That's the only thing I want this
Why
semester.
does it matter to you to get great grades? What does that prove to you?
It just proves to me that like even if it's the most okay, as a person I am very very entrepreneurial driven, and that's my excuse for why I'm not academically driven, because I'm much better at like chasing after one goal. That doesn't necessarily mean like studying more than that 10-15 hours for a test about biology or some classes that I'm not interested in, which is a lot of people are like me, but I don't want to let that be an excuse for me not to be like doing academics. Or not even just that, but if I don't do well in academics, then that's proving to myself, even if I don't like to do something, I should have the ability to do it. And I want to prove to myself that I hate doing academics, but if I can do it, it shows to me that even though I don't
Is
like to
that
do
why
it,
you read?
I can still do it. Huh?
Is that
No,
why
I
you
love
read?
reading. I'm a big fan of reading.
Okay, my goal, if anybody wants to know, first of all, I feel like I wish I had sold more books, not the pre-order, because that we made, and thank God, because Zoya was in charge. On my own, no way I was going to make that. But I feel a little disappointed in how many books I've sold, because I feel like we've written a phenomenal book. We have incredible reviews. We have, but it's so hard to break into book clubs and all those things. I kind of a little bit underestimated the fight. I am here to acknowledge that. I thought writing an amazing book, and even though I know I'm all about sales, even I underestimated how much of a journey it is to get people to read the book, to get it in the right hands, to get the right tastemakers to get behind it. So I wish that I had even fought more, but
Can I just say something on that? I think one thing that we learned through this book process is that a lot of people who write books, that is their Super Bowl,
yeah.
right? Like that is their thing. Like their book that has come out, that is the product of like decades and decades of work in one culmination of one moment. Now, in Zarna's case, which now I'm going to refer to her as that and not mom because this is my professional brain working, she has a Hulu comedy special coming out in 2 weeks. She had a movie that came out pretty much at the same time during our book process. She had like major media projects that were coinciding with one another by virtue of her job and her role in the entertainment industry. Now, it's really easy to look back and be like, I could have done more on this project. She simply could not have done more without losing out on a comedy special with the biggest comedy special people in the business and a movie that ended up being one of the number one movies of this year. So that is just my piece on that circumstance. But
Okay, regardless, looking, it's true that there are many reasons, and we can slice and dice them. But looking forward, honestly, related to how the first year went, is learning more and more to streamline and put all my energy into a limited number of projects, because I've read it. We've all read business people who've said that successful people, their superpower is saying no. And still we get dragged into projects that we don't want to be a part of. As a mom and as somebody who lives in the Indian community, in the New York community, I end up having to say things. So I have no desire to be in these rooms. I don't have the energy. And still, despite every ability of mine saying, don't say yes to this, I do fall for it. So second half of my year is being more disciplined about limiting my
So what did you
energy.
recently said no to?
Oh my god, I get asked, Shalabh, all kinds of charity events and people's birthdays and anniversaries and things. And the truth is that I don't enjoy these social events. It's not even, I understand that they are happy and I'm happy for them. I'm happy to send them gifts. I don't enjoy those social events anymore. They're not
You
fun
know
for
what?
me.
You did one thing recently, Zarna, that I just cannot believe you did, and it's incredible testimony to your business sense, is to make up with a co-writer that you worked with in the past.
Yes, my mind was more wrapped up in like what bridges have I burned accidentally and how to
I mean, it wasn't
resolve those.
accidental. She actually,
Whatever, there
yeah.
was water under the bridge, but I wanted to, in the best interest of my sanity, where my heart was, where my business is, I wanted to devote time and energy into fixing that. But I need to be more streamlined going forward into saying no and being, what I end up doing is the thing that you're not supposed to do you know what? Never say I'll see or I'll get back to you when you know the answer is no.
I feel like you rarely do that.
No,
Do you
but I
really do
still
that?
get dragged. People will still be like, no, but can you try? Can you try? And then I'll be like, okay, I'll try. No, the answer just needs to be no at the outset, because it is no and we will figure it out next. It is so much trauma. All the emails, texts, back and forth. What time? What time you want to do this? Can you come here? Can you come? And I'm not even trying to make it like I'm a star. A lot of these are nonsense, everyday things that every human being, and especially every mother, gets dragged into. And we just need to all learn to say no when your heart is saying no right there.
I think the best way to say no is actually something Veer said in an earlier podcast episode, is even if you feel like you are the bad guy by saying no, knowing that you are actually doing this person a service in the long term, because you're still going to bail. Like, the thing is that you are still going to bail because you still don't want to do it and you probably won't fulfill it. And if you bail earlier, then you're giving that person time to make up the spot with other people. So just knowing that you're actually doing them a favor, or doing the situation a favor.
What happened with your dad? My laptop
If this
died.
guy put on
His laptop died?
He said he's not going to be able to continue the podcast episode.
What happened?
His computer is like dying, and then we put it back in charging, and then it turned on, and then it died again, and then turned on, and then died again.
This is our life, guys. Maybe one of our family goals should be learning how to keep all our equipment in order. And really, this goal is just for your dad, because everybody else is on plan. We went through meticulous steps to make sure everybody's phones, laptops, everything was charged. I custom ordered bags for each people's equipment so it stays in one place. So everything stays. After everything is done, he cannot charge his laptop. I mean, tell us in the comment section, is this us? Is this just our family?
Mom,
is this
you're
just
not very
my
much
husband?
following your spiritual guru.
What? Okay, whatever, Veer. You know what? Now is not the time. Why don't you go and give your dad some advice? Go give him some advice on how he can step up more for the family business. Brij, do you have any advice for your dad on how he can step up more for the family business?
I have said many times that if he doesn't step up and starts getting either much more involved, we should hire a replacement. And I've been serious about that since literally the second I said that.
About that
because his character is such a strong character within our paradigm. He's very, very useful. He's good on the live shows. He's good at home. We just need someone who's like shows up more, be more consistent. And I don't necessarily think that he's the only Indian uncle in the world that can play that role. The rest of us can be part of the family, and then we have one actor. Like I'm still very adamant about that.
No, but he's been saying that. Listen, I think this is an interesting moment within our podcast topic of summer goals. Do you see how, guys, I'm trying so hard to keep it on topic? Like, I
Yes.
just want our viewers to know that I am trying my best.
We're going to take a brief pause to tell you about our sponsor for today's episode. I was married for 22 years and didn't know anything about our financial health, where our accounts were, where our 401k was, how much of our apartment do we own, how much mortgage do we have. It was such a mistake not knowing anything, because when crisis hit, in addition to dealing with the crisis, first I had to figure out all the information, and it was so difficult. It doesn't have to be so difficult. You should all be in control of your futures. You should all know what your financial story is, and it's so easy today with Monarch Money. This is Wall Street Journal's #1 app for budgeting. It's a great tool for couples to work together. It's an easy interface that shows you everything in one place. I highly recommend that you guys use it. And because we're working with the fine people at Monarch Money, we have an amazing deal for you. If you download it and you use it for 1 full year, you'll get 50% off. If you don't like it, you can cut them off. Don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code ZARNA at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half of your first year. That's 50% off of your first year at monarchmoney.com with code ZARNA. Get on it, people.
Now, I think one of my summer goals is we have to get better at just letting people do what they want to do. Now, the reason for that, the reason I'm saying that is Veer, Brij, and
I don't like the word "we" there.
Okay, we are all like stepping up and trying our best and stuff. And
I mean-
and you too. I'm saying, Mom, you're a non-negotiable. I'm just saying that I don't know if you can change somebody if they don't want to be changed.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? So,
Dude, are you kidding me?
That was what I said.
I have literally been saying that. I have said that quote at least 100,000 times. I've said you cannot change somebody who wants to be changed. I've said
Who
that
doesn't want to be
in
changed.
California. I said that in
I
New
stole
York.
it from Brij.
You
I mean,
100% stole that.
Literally, I taught you guys this.
No, I didn't steal it from
No,
you.
my
I stole it from
favorite
Brij.
quote of all times is, nobody is more blind than the person who doesn't want to see. Then
That
you
is
guys
true.
turned it
But that's
into all
not-
these American style words, and you think it's original thought, and that's not
American-style
how
words?
it works.
Your words are also American.
Okay, whatever. Anyway, one of the things we definitely need to figure out, it's becoming more clear to me, is how as a family we are going to work together if we're going to build this thing, because we are going to end up getting in fights, we are going to end up hurting each other's feelings, we are going to end up disappointing each other, and that is a real thing. Like, that is not a made up thing. And
How are we? Okay, so what should our goal be for the rest of the year related to that? Like, how can we improve
I think
upon
we
our
should
steps?
build some systems. Like, maybe it needs to be, if we are heated with each other, there is a cooling off period, and then we sit on a table with a neutral person like me, and I can, or we can choose, if not me, I don't know who else
Veer,
it could
okay,
be.
I
but
think our realistic goal should be able to communicate more effectively.
Also, Mom, I have never seen you use the cooldown method a day in my life.
I cool down all the
I
time.
have
I just
never
cooled down
seen you
right now
cool
while your
down.
dad's laptop
Honestly,
literally died.
Brij.
You don't
She
know
was-
the anger that I was
she
having
was
inside my head.
She
Okay,
was.
you do. Oh my God! Right now, I'm
She
not
was
even-
honestly very calm. Like, I really
No, I
genuinely
was
could've
surprised too.
crashed out,
I am surprised too.
but she didn't crash out. She calmed down. And
What is this? What are you doing?
This is me deep breathing and cooling myself right now. Like, I can't right now with you guys already. All three of you gang up on me. He's not supportive. This is like, and you know what is the worst thing? What is the worst thing? The whole world thinks he's the most supportive human being on earth. That is the insult to injury. You guys are upset that I'm the face of the podcast and nobody sees your work.
Nobody's upset about that.
Let me tell you.
Nobody's
No,
upset about
okay,
that.
whatever. You may or may not be upset. But the real upsetness should come at the fact that your dad, even though he puts in literally the most minimal effort, the whole world thinks he's a hero.
We are upset with that. We be like,
Brij
I-
just said he wants to hire a replacement dad. How is he not upset?
and also I just want the podcast to know this too. I never say anything behind anyone's back that I wouldn't say to their face. And that includes this podcast. this whole thing, like frustration with dad, I've told him many, many, many times. I'm not mean. I'm like, dad, like this, whatever. But I told him honestly yesterday, listen, if you do not step up, we are doing shows in London. We are doing shows in India. We're going global now. Like, we need somebody. An Indian uncle is such an important character to our family. It is something that so many men can relate with. It brings a whole nother perspective on our family. I think the best thing, the most annoying thing from my stance is that he never gives a true answer. He never says, I will do it. He never says, I won't. I wish he would just say, if this is truly how he felt, I can't do it. I'm done. I cannot do it. Because then at least there's so much clarity in where we can go from there.
Anyway,
And one thing that I feel in terms of like goals and stuff is, mom, like, I know that you keep thinking like, if I design this better system, I think you take on a lot of the burden on yourself, actually a lot of it, and it I want you to give up a little bit. I really do, because in order for you to perform at the level that you need to perform at in the other avenues of your life that are very, very important for your career, and very, very important even for this podcast to exist and succeed, like, you have to just, like, you're trying to carry the weight of someone or something like this situation in a way that's not going to change. Like, you can't fix the situation more than it's been fixed anyways, in my opinion. And I'm not saying like give up on dad, like that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying that like circumstances like this where there's, you know, someone who's not putting in the amount of planning and effort ahead of time, you have to give up a little bit because you can't change that person.
I don't know. I mean, we're gonna have to do something because this is not sustainable, and it's extremely infuriating. And again, the podcast was supposed to be light and fun, and it's like, I can't. Guys, I'm so sorry. People who are watching and listening, please chime in. Am I the only mom who feels this way? Is he the only dad who acts this way? Are these the only, is my kid the only kid who's asking me to hire a replacement dad for a podcast? What are we even talking about? Like, what is happening in this family? What is happening in this world? And I didn't think I was going to have a drinking problem, but at some point I'm going to give it up and start drinking in the daytime. Because I can't, my sanity is at its wit's end. I don't know what else to do.
Can we get to good grades?
You want to do good grades at the end of this? Okay, all right. So as we end every episode with a round of good grades with Garg, where every Garg gives another Garg an A grade, so too we are going to end this round with good grades with I have no idea who is going to get an A grade today. Literally, I know for one person who doesn't deserve it. So we'll save me till the end and go.
Oh, you want to go first, Brij?
Yeah, I can go first if you want.
You go.
Okay, I'll go. I'm gonna give my A grade to Didi because I agreed with her stance and take that mom, like, you carry around a lot of burden, and I think she very accurately summed up what we all feel as siblings.
Yeah.
I want to give my A grade to mom because you have worked so hard to build this podcast that came out of thin air from the ground up. You've created systems. We found the right people for it, and now we're doing such amazing things, learning how to build a podcast universe, which is its own battle and its own interesting build. And I am so, like, you handled that issue really, really well. And I understand, like, I would have crashed out and you didn't. You were the restraint. What is it that you always say? Model of restraint. You were the
I
model
was a
of
model
restraint.
of restraint.
You
I just want to
were.
give the A grade to myself today. Because I didn't say a word. I didn't get angry. Nobody knew my inner deep feelings when my husband's laptop turned out not to be charged after repeated reminders that today we're going to be doing this. And he was the only one of our family who had no job yesterday.
Okay.
Veer, do you have a grade to give?
I'm going to give my A grade to Baya because he gave me a push for that SHSAT that I felt like I needed. Now, in hindsight, I definitely needed that push, and I'm very grateful for it.
Oh my God,
because
Veer's
my
the only
son,
one
because
who
Veer has to study for an exam that is coming up, that in the chaos and commotion of our family, business and shows and all of that, we all completely forgot that he has a huge exam coming up in October. And I think Brij sat down and talked to Veer and said, you need to study for this exam, and reminded him to get back on track. That's what Veer is referring to. Another job, which I might add, somebody else in this family could have been doing, but it didn't, because why should he take on another job, which is not a job? He's also a parent. I'm not going to name names, but he is also a parent. But this is the story of our family. I'm so sorry that, again, the episode went sideways, upside down, and all over the place. Please tell us what you think. Share our life with your friends and family. Like, share, and subscribe our podcast episode. If you actually like watching the real truth behind how these family things are grown, give us your grades. Agree with our grades, don't agree with our grades. We are so thankful for your time and your attention. And until we meet again, everybody say bye.
Bye.
Bye.